Tuloy na SA June 11.2005 and the impeachment trials and VP SARA DUTERTE.
The motion is approved.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, in view of the referral of the verified complaint, may I respectfully move that the Senate President take his oath as presiding officer. So move, Mr. President.
What is the pleasure of the Honorable De La Rosa?
Mr. President, just for a clarification, is it correct to assume that though the Senate President takes his oath today, and as you said, the members will be taking their respective oath tomorrow, but the impeachment court is not yet convened, and it is going to be convened on Wednesday, June 11. Am I correct, Mr. President? Just for the record.
What does the movement say?
Yes, Mr. President, the distinguished gentleman from Davao and Bohol is correct, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr.
That is
President.
the intention of the movement, Mr. President.
What is the pleasure of the Honorable
Just to, Mr. President,
Pimentel?
just to complete the thought of the.
You may proceed, sir.
Just to complete the thought of the latest motion of Senator Villanueva, it should, as the presiding officer of the impeachment court. Sige. And then, with the convening, Mr. President, I think tomorrow when we take our oath, we are convened as the impeachment court. So I don't know. That's my technical understanding, Mr. President, because the presiding officer will now call the impeachment court to session, and then the members will now take their oath as senator judges. So that is already convening the court as far as this representation is concerned.
What does
Mr. President, if I may, Mr. President,
Senator Villanueva is
as
recognized.
the movement
You may
of the
proceed,
motion, Mr. President, I stand firm with the motion that I am proposing right now, as this came through out of the consultations made by this representation to a lot of members of the Senate, Mr. President. Just to put that on record.
But
Just to clarify, this is akin or similar, Honorable Villanueva, to, for example, those who are newly elected to serve a term beginning January 30, 2025, who won in the last elections, where they can take their oath today,
Yes.
next week, or even for the past several days. But still, the term of their office will commence or begin on June 30. Would that be a good analogy?
Yes, Mr. President, you are correct, Mr. President.
What is the pleasure of the Honorable Marcos? Or nakatayo ka? What is the pleasure of the Honorable Revilla, Padilla, and then De La Rosa?
Ginoong Pangulo, gusto ko lamang pong malinawan sa salitang Tagalog na ang hudyat po ng ating mahal na kapatid na Senator Joel Villanueva na kayo po ay mag-oath. Hindi po ibig sabihin na tayo po ay naguhubad na ngayon ng sombrero ng pagiging legislative body, kung di tayo po ay hindi pa rin korte. Gusto ko lamang pong linawin.
Tama po, Ginoong Pangulo, ang binigkas ng ating kapatid Senator Robin Hood Padilla na hindi po natin hinuhubad ang ating sombrero bilang legislative body ng Senado, at hindi po tayo nagko-convene as an impeachment court.
Maraming salamat po. Yun lamang po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Honorable De La Rosa and then the Honorable Tolentino.
I just would like to be clarified, Mr. President. If it follows that after all the members of this body have taken their oath, it would automatically trigger the convening of the impeachment court. Therefore, I move that we make our oath on the 11th, Mr. President. as originally scheduled.
Mr. President, if I may, Mr. President.
Senator Villanueva.
To just clarify, Mr. President, the motion is for the Senate President at this time. The motion at hand is that the Senate President would take his oath as the presiding officer of the impeachment court. The next motion that we agreed upon a while ago is for the members of the Senate, the senator judges, to take their oaths, Mr. President. But just the same, Mr. President, let me emphasize again, whether today or tomorrow's oath taking, this representation was made to believe that we are not yet convening as a court.
I agree, Mr. President.
And we are to convene the impeachment court on Wednesday, June 11.
I agree, Mr. President.
That is the
Senator Tolentino.
President, just to further clarify, Mr. President, the impending oath of the Senate President is, if I'm not mistaken, and the movement can clarify this, pursuant to Resolution 39, Section 3 of our rules, which states, and I quote the pertinent provision, the President of the Senate shall preside in all other cases of impeachment, and for that purpose be placed under the prescribed oath or affirmation by any person authorized by law to administer an oath. The same, Mr. President, is pursuant to the constitutional command under Article 11, Section 3, paragraph 6, that when sitting for that purpose, referring to the impeachment, the senators shall be on oath or affirmation. Is that the correct clarification, interpretation, if I may ask the movement, Mr. President?
What does the movement say?
Yung po bang panunumpa ngayon ng ating Senate President ay sang-ayon sa Resolution number 39 patungkol sa impeachment proceedings at sang-ayon din sa Article 11, Section 3 patungkol po sa panunumpa ng Senate President at lahat ng senador kung magbubukas ang isang impeachment trial court. Yun lamang po.
yes, Mr. President. The answer is in the affirmative, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We can
Senator Pimentel is recognized.
since we are debating on the nature of the third motion, actually, we're still on the second motion. Kaya nga. So, maybe if we can wait for the third motion and then revive this topic, Mr. President.
I have no problem with that, Mr. President. And so I moved for the previous motion, Mr. President. The previous motion to the Senate President.
And
to take
Senator
his oath.
Coco, you have no objection as to the clarification made by Senator De La Rosa earlier with respect to the second motion. Is that correct?
Because it is more appropriate for the third motion which has not
Yes.
been made, Mr. President. So, mas nalilito tayo when we anticipate
So
the
there
third
is
motion.
no reservation as to the second motion of the gentleman from Bulacan for the chair to take his oath as presiding officer. Is that the understanding of the
Presiding
chair?
officer of the impeachment court. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Senator De La Rosa.
My clarification, Mr. President, was not yet forthrightly answered, Mr. President. Can this, can the presiding officer give us a clear explanation as to whether or not we are convened right after all the members of this chamber have taken their oath? Because according to what we have discussed a while ago, that the convening of the court, of the impeachment court, shall proceed only on 11 or Wednesday.
That's no. We are still on the second motion, Honorable De La Rosa.
That is why, Mr. President, that's a precondition. Because otherwise, my question is a precondition to your taking
Understood.
of oath. Because if you say that it will trigger, then I will object to your to that motion.
Understood. Senator Cayetano, what is your pleasure?
If it will help,
You may proceed, sir, if it will help.
in the same manner, Mr. President, that you said that parang po yung mga nanalo nung May election, June 30 pa naman sila mag-hold office pero pwede na sila mag-oath. If the Supreme Court was in recess now, but the President appointed 3, 4, 5, 6 justices, they can take their oath. At kahit 15 yan na sabay-sabay nag-oath, it will not mean that they are convening the Supreme Court for another session. They will still be in recess. It will be either the law, which sets a date, or in our case, here in plenary, we will set the date kung kailan i-convene. So if it will help, so what will happen is you will take your oath tonight. Then because we referred it to the Committee on Rules, then following precedents, which is part of our rules, then tomorrow, we will take our oath as a group. But yung pagko-convene, in accordance then with our agreement and your notice, will be on Wednesday. If we all accept that, our taking of our oath tomorrow will not trigger the convention of the of convening of the trial court. Of course, if we all agree today that after we take our oath it will convene, then it will convene. But if we all agree we will just be taking our oath today, it's no different than new appointees of the Supreme Court or the CA or the RTC taking their oath, then waiting till the recess is over before they convene. Now, if we all
A few minutes later.
I, Francis Chiz Escudero,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that in all things appertaining to
that in all things appertaining to
the trial of the impeachment of
the trial of the impeachment of
Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte,
Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte,
now pending,
I
I will do impartial justice
will do impartial justice
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of the Philippines.
and laws of the Philippines.
So help me God.
So help me God.